Good morning, students. Today's class we will see about the nursing research and statistics of April 2020 that conducted in November 2020. So the short essay, the first short essay is explain the types of review of literature. Literature review is an account of what has been already established or published on a particular research topic by accredited scholars and researchers. On the basis of purpose and methodologies, literature review would be broadly classified into following categories: the traditional or narrative literature review, which presents the summary of literature and draws conclusions about the topic in the question; body of literature composed of summary of facts on the subject area from primary and secondary sources. The primary purpose of the traditional literature review is to offer comprehensive background of subject matter study to understand the subject area, identify the gaps, inconsistencies in the body of knowledge, and highlighting the significance of new research questions. It is also useful in developing the conceptual and theoretical framework. Second is systematic literature review. It includes more systematic and vigorous approach of literature review in a specific subject area. The main aim is to find out answer for the well-focused questions of clinical practice. It includes the methods used in searching, evaluating, and synthesizing the literature. In this, researcher formulates research questions, determines the inclusion and exclusion criteria, followed by selection of answers of the reviews, and finally analyze, synthesize, and communicate the findings. It identifies, critically evaluated, and synthesizes all published literature available on a specific topic of interest. The third one is meta-analysis. It includes large number of findings from a quantitative research studies and computes statistical analysis for drawing the indicative and cumulative inference and conclusions. It is the highest level of evidence in the research for the evidence-based practice. And third, the fourth one is the meta-synthesis. It is also a non-statistical method used to integrate, evaluate, and interpret the findings of a multiple qualitative research study. Findings from ethnography, phenomenology, and endowment theory are integrated and used for clinical practice for better understanding and implementation of appropriate nursing care. Second is the various method of data collections. Data collection is an orderly process of gathering information related to research variables under investigation from the study participants to answer the research questions or to test the hypothesis. In data collection, the methods and tools or techniques are interrelated. Selection of appropriate method of data collection method is influenced by several factors like types of variable under study, types of participants under study, nature of research study, population and sample size, availability of resources and data collectors, competency of invigilators, and availability of standardized tools. So based on these different type of use for the data collection. First one is interview, second is questioning, observations, biophysiological methods, and other methods. Interview is the process of communication or interaction in which subjects or interviewed gives the needed information verbally in a face-to-face situation. It is a popular way of gathering information in a qualitative research. Types of interview are structured interview, unstructured interview, semi-structured interview, in-depth interview, focused interview, and telephone interview. Second method is questioning, or otherwise known as self-report. A good deal of information can be gathered by questioning the people, a method known as self-report. A questionnaire is planned, self-reported form designed to elicit information through a written or verbal response of the subject. Types of truth data collection are questionnaire, opinion, attitude scale, vision analog scale. Third one is observation. It's the way of gathering data by watching behavior, events, or noting the physical characteristic in the natural setting. It can be used to gather such information such as characteristic and conditions of individual, verbal and non-verbal communication. It can be made in laboratory or in natural setting. It can be done directly through the human senses or with aid of technical apparatus such as video equipment and tape recorders. Types of truth data collection are rating scale, checklist, anecdotes, videotapes, etc. Biophysiological methods. A major strength of biophysiological measures is their objectivity. A trend in nursing research has been toward increased clinical, patient-centered investigations. The one result of this trend is expanded use of measures to assess physiological status of subjects, typically through quantitative biophysiological measures. The physiological and physical variables typically require specialized technical instruments and equipment for their measurements and usually specialized training for the interpretation of results. The types include in vivo biophysiological methods and in vitro biophysiological methods. Second is a short note. The first one is pilot study. Pilot study is a small-scale study conducted to test the plan and method of the research study. It is a smaller version of study carried out before actual investigation is done. Researcher uses the information gathered in pilot studies to refine or modify the research methodology for a study and to develop large-scale studies. Purpose of pilot study include assessing the feasibility and practicability of the research study, assessing the availability of the study subject, establishing the validity and reliability of the research tools, ensuring the appropriateness of methods and procedure of data collection, refining the study methodology, planning for data analysis and interpretation of final ladder research, assessing the practicability of full-scale study, assessing whether the research protocol is practicable and workable. Problems and issues of a pilot study include always greater chance for inappropriate predictions or assumptions based on pilot study result. Sample contamination is an issue related to pilot study. The fourth one is qualitative objectives in research. Research objective is a clear, concise, declarative statement which provide directions to investigation of the variable. They should be SMART. SMART means S for specific, M for measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Relevant, feasible, logical, observable, unequivocal, and measurable. It summarizes what to be achieved in the study. And research objectives are the specific accomplishments of the researcher hopes to achieve by the study. It covers different aspects of the problem concisely. It clearly phrases in operational terms and in logical sequence. The fifth question is sampling. It is the process of selection of sample from the available population. The procedure of sampling should be systematically organized. Selection of the sample is an important step in the research process, and the results are validated and generalized based on sampling methods and procedures. The sampling procedures consist of following stages. The first one, identify and define the target population. Second, identify the accessible population, describe the sampling frame, specify the sampling unit, that means the exclusion and inclusion criteria, specific the sample selection methods, determine the sample size, specify the sampling plan, selecting the desirable sample. The sixth question is utilization of research findings. Research utilization always refers to use of research findings in nursing practice and other horizons of nursing. It refers to use of research findings in practice to improve the existing care. Levels of research utilization include instrumental utilization, indirect expert application of knowledge gained through the research to change the practice. Second, conceptual utilization. It enhances individuals' understanding and comprehension. Third, symbolic utilization. Use the evidence to change the minds of other people. Barriers of research utilization are lack of awareness on research methodology, inadequate dissemination of research results, lack of motivation attitude towards research, lack of time and functional assignment, lack of organizational support, inadequate quality of the research work. Facilitating factors for the research utilization are administrative support, interdisciplinary and integrated research, education and training related to research, promotion policy. Seventh question is the differential between inter-rater reliability and Split-Hoff method of reliability. The inter-rater reliability is to test that equivalency. The two researchers are using the same instrument independently to measure the variable under study and then rating compared for a percentage of agreement. Reliability value, the number of positive agreement divided by number of negative agreement plus number of positive agreement. Split-Hoff method is used for testing internal consistency or homogeneity of the instrument. In this, response to the items of an instrument are divided into two halves, that is either odd or even method, and score correlated degree of correlation indicates the degree of reliability. It is calculated by Spearman-Brown formula. The eighth question is difference between limitation and delimitation. Limitation are the challenge. It is the challenges faced by the researcher. It is beyond his or her control and mentioned in the last chapter. That means during the research, whatever difficulties or the challenges faced by the research, delimitation is boundaries set by the researcher before starting the study. It is controlled by the researcher. It is mentioned in the initial chapters of presentation. Then probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Probability sampling is every sample in the population has the equal chance to be part of the research. Sample are true representation, results obtained are conclusive and unbiased. Costly, it requires proper planning and execution, commonly used in the experiment type of research. But in non-probability sampling, every sample does not have the chance as they are selected arbitrarily. Samples are not true representation, the results are exploratory and there is chance for bias, quick, inexpensive and convenient, commonly used in qualitative type of research. Survey and randomized trial. Survey is the method non-experimental research design collect information from different subjects within the given population having the same characteristic of interest. Information is collected regarding prevalence, distribution, and interrelationship of variable within the population. But randomized trial is true experimental design. Researcher randomly assigns some patients to one group, that is the treatment group, and other patients at the placebo of the unusual treatment. It is the common way to evaluate the effectiveness of drugs, treatment, or any other intervention. Second, the 11th question is calculate mean, median, mode of standard deviation of the following data. So here it is the calculation goes. The short notes include independent t-test. Independent t-test, also known as two-sample t-test, independent sample t-test, or SWAN t-test. The inferential statistical test that determines whether there is a statistically significant difference between the means in two unrelated groups. Calculate t-value, test by xa divided by xb divided by sc. Line diagram. Variables in frequency, polygon, are displayed by a line. It is used when the data is collected over a long period of time. On x-axis, the value of independent variable and the value of dependent variable on the y-axis. With reference to x and y-axis, the given data may be plotted on these consecutive points or data joined by a line. So, here's the line. This is an example of a line diagram which shows profit of an industrial house during 1002 to 2008. So, the x-axis it shows the years and the y-axis it shows the dependent variable. Result. Ratio scale. Ratio scale is a quantitative scale where there is a true zero and equal intervals between neighboring points. Unlike interval scale, a ratio scale means there is a total absence of variable which are measuring length, area and population are examples of ratio scale. Highest level of measurement. It is the highest level of measurement. In this level have all three attributes: magnitude, equal, intervals and absolute 0 point. It represents continuous values. Here the descriptive statistics as mean, mode, median, standard deviation, etc. are commonly used. For example, heartbeats per minute has a very natural 0.0 means no heartbeats. Weight in grams also ratio variable. Again, 0 value is meaningful. 0 grams means absence of weight. The next question is normal probability curve. The literal meaning of the term normal is average. We make use of this term while computing the average in technological education, psychology or sociology. In this area, those are able to reach a particular fixed level of qualification or characteristic are termed as normal. In simple terms, by probability we mean the possibility of being selected. NPC or normal probability curve is a formula for findings of average, strength of the class, average marks and its distribution. This is an example of a normal probability curve. A bell-shaped symmetrical curve is with only one hump in the middle which tapers on either side in the same fashion and touches only in the infinity. All three measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode are equal in this. Next question is inferential statistics. It's a concern with populations and use sample data to make inference about population or to test the hypothesis considered at the beginning of the research study. It helps the researcher to determine whether the difference found between the group is real difference or only a chance difference that occurred because of unrepresentative sample were chosen from the population. The next short note is cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency is the analysis of frequency of occurrence of values of phenomena less than reference value. The phenomena may be times or space or dependent. Cumulative frequency is performed to obtain insight into how often certain phenomena or features below some value. This may help in describing or explaining the situation in which the phenomena is involved or planning intervention, for example, flood protection. Cumulative frequency is defined as running total of frequency. The cumulative frequency is important when analyzing the data where the values of cumulative frequency indicate number of elements in the data set lie below the current value. Thank you. Thank you for listening.